Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and this is what we're going to do today. I was showing you this container, but it's basically empty. You can see there's some odd pieces of bling in there. And then I have this container that I had bling in, and it's still got a few little odd pieces. But basically what we're building today, I just took some of my scrap chipboard, some of my scrap paper, and some construction strips, and I built a bling box to store all of my bling in. I've got labels made, and I just used some old file folders to make my little dividers here. So I've got labels made, multi, green, clear, blue, black, brown, red, purple. So I've just got all of those down in there, and then I've got them separated out, and I've got the full packs in the back, and then the partial packs in the front, so that I'll make sure I use the partial ones up first and not open another pack until those are used. But this was just the right size for what bling I have on hand. Now I have a few odd pieces here and there, but I will sort them out and I'll use those first. But I'm going to show you exactly how to make this box. Now this could be used for a lot of different things. You don't have to use it for bling. If you're not a blingaholic like I am, then you probably wouldn't need this. But you can use it for other types of storage, and you can make these any size that you want. So I'll show you exactly how to put this together. Try to show you a side view without dumping it out. This is the old Bloom Graphic 45 paper. I had one sheet left, and it was just enough to cover all of that. So let's get started into the tutorial. So what we need to start off with is we need to find some construction strips. Now I have got a few that are already done, and if you don't know what construction strips are, I will tell you. Anytime I have a 1-inch wide piece of cardstock that is a kind of a heavy cardstock, not too heavy, but maybe a medium weight cardstock, and it's more than 4 inches long, then I go ahead and score it down the center at 1/2 inch, and then I put score tape on each side of that score line. That is a construction strip. So you can see right there, I've got one that's, I don't know how long, it's probably 12 inches. And then I put score tape on each side of that score line that I scored in the center. That's going to make this a construction strip that you can put other things together with. And I'll show you in just a second exactly how we use these. Now I'm going to go ahead and put score tape on this one. Now I use score tape. I don't use liquid glue because I don't think that liquid glue holds as well. And when I put something together with a construction strip, I want it to hold for a long time. I don't want it to fall apart. And I use Suquane score tape. I don't use the off brands. I always use the score tape from Suquane. All right, there is our construction strip. So I think I have enough here to do this. So I'm going to lay that aside. Now I have cut, and I just went into my scrap chipboard, and I have cut 2 pieces that are, let's see, I think I just left them the length that they were because the length really didn't matter. They're 10 1/8, and they're 3 1/4 inch tall. And that's going to be about the height of most of my pieces of bling, most of the little packs of bling. And then the end pieces are 6 3/4 by 3 1/4. So I've got 2 end pieces and 2 side pieces. And then I just went and I had some old file folders, and I just went and cut those old file folders up, and I glued 2 pieces together to make them a little bit stronger. Then I just used my tab punch, and I punched some tabs, and I just put the different colors: brown, black, blue, clear, green, multi, and then back here I have reds and purples. Now, that probably is going to be enough to cover my bling, but you know, you can always just keep adding and adding. So I'm going to lay those aside for a second. So like I said, I used just old file folders. It was just something that I had and I wanted to use up, didn't want to throw away, so that's what I did with them. All right, I left out one piece. This piece is for the bottom, and it is going to need to be 6 3/4 by 10 1/8. So that's going to take the width of these. These are going to go on each end, and then these are going to go on each side. We're building a box. That's basically what we're doing. So I'm going to lay this down here. I'm going to take one of my construction strips, and let me find my pick tool. Now I take one side off at a time. So I'm going to take that side off, and then I'm going to lay that down with my fold side right at the end of my chipboard, just as close to the end as I can get it. Okay, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to clip that off. Now you could have measured this and gone ahead and cut your construction strips to the size that you needed, but this is going to be a quick and easy project, so I'm not going to measure that. Now I want this to stand up like this and not have a gap between these two. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this backing off of this one. I'm going to butt that right up against that, making sure that the ends are even, and then I'm going to press that down. Just like that. And always run your bone folder over that to make sure that it's stuck well. So see, there is one of our sides already. And we'll go back and put another strip right here to cover that up and make that where that doesn't show. Let's see, I think this one's going to be long enough. I'm going to go ahead and trim this one off. And I save those little bitty pieces too, because sometimes if you accidentally trim too short, you can always go back and use those to fill in. Okay, again, we're going to put that right at the end of the chipboard. We're using the folded side of our construction strip. Then we're going to pull the backing off of that one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to press that up against that. Make sure that the ends are even. And then I'm going to fold that up, holding it as tight as I can. I'm going to lay that over and then run my bone folder down through there. There we go. So we have our two sides, and now we need to do the ends. This end and this end. So you see we've got a box coming together already. All right. I'm going to trim this a little bit more right here. Alright, I'm going to hold this up and see where I need to cut it. So I need to cut that little piece off right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put another one up to that one and trim it off too, because I know I need one on each end. Now on these, I'm going to cut these a little bit at an angle, because we're going into where I put those other ones down. So you don't want to have too much bulk right there. So I'm cutting these at an angle. Then again, we'll peel one side of the score tape backing off. There we go. And then again, I'm going to hold this up just like I did the side pieces. I'm going to try to make sure that the ends are even and that it's pressed right up against that other piece of chipboard. And then I am going to press it down. Looks good. All right, we're ready for this end. Okay, I think you can see that. And then let's pull the backing off. Turn it, I have to turn it to the side so I can see it well. Gonna hold that straight up there, as straight as I can anyway. And then I'm going to lay it over and glue those pieces down. Now we need to put some little construction strips right up these sides and we'll have our box completed. So I am just going to measure down through here, and then I'm going to cut some of these construction strips down. May have to make one more, looks like. I need 4 of these. Yeah, that one's not long enough, and that one's not long enough. So I'm going to need to make one more construction strip. All right, we've got these cut to length, and now I'm going to go ahead and angle the corners like we did on those other ones. Now on these, we're going to pull both sides off, and I'll show you why in just a second. All right, pull both of these sides off, have it folded like this, and then you're going to pull your corners together. And I'm going to try to fix this where you can see it, but where I won't get my head in the shot. And you're going to put that one down, pressing it up in the corner, and then put that one down. And there we go. That's going to pull your corner together. Isn't that neat? I'm going to flip it over and go ahead and burnish that. So we're going to do that all the way around all 4 corners. So there is our box with all 4 corners put together. And now I'm going to go ahead and put some construction strips on the outside right here. You don't have to do that. This is just so that it'll look a little bit better, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. It's not a problem. Now when you're putting your construction strips on the outside, you're going to turn it a little bit different. Instead of turning it this way with the tape on the inside, you're going to turn it like this. The tape's going to be in here, and this is going to be your outer edge. And you're just going to match those corners up. And see, that covers all of that raw edge of the chipboard. Okay, so here's our box, and believe me, this is a tough box. It's not going anywhere. Now you could use this for lots of different things, but I'm going to use it to put my bling in. Now I'm going to cover the sides with some paper. This is just scrap paper that I have had in my stash. I think it's really pretty. It was the Graphic 45 Bloom collection that we had last year. So I'm going to cover the sides with this. I wish I had more of this. I think it's so pretty. Now, if you cut yours the same size as I did mine, then I will tell you what size these mats need to be. I cut these at 10 by 3 inches. That's what size I cut them. And that makes it have just a little bit of that white showing. And then these are cut at 6.5 by 3. Okay. And then another one here. Okay, so there are the sides of our box. I'm not going to cover the bottom because it's going to be sitting. It's not going to show. And I'm not going to cover the inside because I like the white just like it is. Now these will sit right down in there. These I did cut, and let me see. I may have told you, but I'm going to tell you again. These I cut at 6.25 by 3.25. And then I just put my little tabs on here. So, and if you don't have enough bling to fill up this whole thing, you know, you don't have to make yours this big, but I've got enough to fill this up and more probably. So let's see what I can do here. I'm just going to start off and start adding some bling in behind some of these. The multi. There's a purple. And a blue. So I'm just dropping them down in there. If they seem to be a little bit too wide or a little bit too tall, then if I need to cut my paper off, I can. But these are fitting just fine, looks like. It's multi. There's a red. And there is a brown. Do you know browns and blacks are kind of hard to come by? That's a multi. And if I have them like this, I'll probably just go ahead. Oops, you're not even seeing me. If I have them like this, I'll probably just go ahead and put the whole pack in there and not pull them out until I get ready to use them. So then there's a red. There's a multi. And that one's kind of more purple than anything, so we're just going to put it in the purple. There's a red. There's blue. Oh, this is going to make it so much easier for me to find what I need. Black. Because as you can see, this is the mess that I had. And this is not even all of it. This is just one container. Because y'all know I'm a blingaholic. There's a multi. There's a blue. Alright, so I'm going to keep doing this like this. And then I will come back at the end and show you when I have all of my bling in here. Okay, so of course I filled this one up. As you can see, it's nice and full. And I have, in the front, I have just a few odd pieces of, these are not exactly, these are brads, I think. Some of them are brads and some of them are bling. But I just put those odd ones in the front. Now, when I put mine in here, like the multi, I put the pieces in the front and then the full packs in the back. So I need to use the pieces first. Then I've got green. I have very little green. I have clear and white in this one. And again, I put the full packs in the back. And then I have blues in here. And then blacks in here. I did have a little bit of black that I didn't know about. And then I have browns in here, and I think I only have one little bitty pack of brown. And then I have pinks and reds in here. I just went ahead and put my pinks and my reds together, and then purple back here. And I'm going to have to make another one of these or use a lot of bling, so I need to start using some of my bling up. I just don't want this to get any fuller. This is all the bling I need to keep on hand. That's enough for anybody. But there you go. Let me hold it up this way so you can kind of see. Got my little container here. It come out just exactly the right size. I have just a few odd pieces like this one, you know, it doesn't exactly go in there. I could put it down in the side probably, but I'll just keep that out so I'll know to use it. But that is it. That is the bling container just made from scraps that I had here, and I'm super excited about it. I can put on the front a label, and it's ready to go. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to click that little bell when that bell pops up so that you'll be notified when we put up a new video. And we will talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.